Hey friends, I'm Simon.
I'm Ellie.
And if you enjoy our videos, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell thing. That would be very kind of you indeed. And we had a special request just come in today from a thrash metal band in Pakistan. And as you know, I for one am a massive thrash metal fan. I used to sing in a thrash band in England myself, so I'm really intrigued about this band in general. The band is called Tabahi. They come from Karachi in Pakistan, which is known as the most violent city in Pakistan and one of the most violent cities in the entire world. And the song that they've just released 2 days ago is called Politricks, and it's basically a protest song against political brainwashing and the kind of madness that's been sweeping through society, especially for the last couple of years, but going back decades. So I really like the idea that you've got this breeding ground of a violent city where thrash metal just makes sense, and a song that basically does this to the government. I mean, come on, what more is there to intrigue me enough to check this band out? So we're going to go ahead and watch Politricks by Tabahi right now. If you want to see what we think about it, then hang around until the end. But for now,
Let's go.
Let's go! Oh, nice! Sounds like Slayer. Oh man! Jeez, these guys can play!
Beware of the traps. Embrace hypocrisy, the practice hypocrisy, but missing ferocity.
Wow!
Above the sky, the master of the sky. The weakest shot tonight, where riches gets on pride. Politricks beat one night.
Yeah!
Blood-burning gonna be addicted to self-seeking leaders. Descending the out of the helpless masses, beyond any pain. Refuse, resist, deny, disease is the lie. The strain, the pain, and pain, all of you I. Of your eyes, above the sky. The master of the sky. The weakest shot tonight, where riches gets on pride. Politricks beat one night.
Oh. Okay, there's got to be a face-shredding solo at this point, surely. Ah, there we go! Read my mind. My face has melted! Oh! That was... Oh, I need more! Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath, because that was a lot, but what did you think of Politricks by Tabahi?
So I'm going to leave you to speak about the technicalities because through exposure, I know this was very good, but it's more something that you can speak to with authority because you've kind of been into that kind of music for a long time. But I think for the other choices that I could speak on, stylistically, I really, really love the simplicity. I feel like a lot of bands get wrapped up in having really complex videos with storylines and like multiple locations. And sometimes it can be entertaining when done well, but sometimes you end up focused on the wrong things. Whereas I think with this, I really love the choices of their outfits. It was such iconic metalhead outfits, and I loved that choice. And with the patches of the bands that inspired them, that's really good, because then that speaks to kind of where they're coming from and the things that influence their styles. But so the simplicity of the outfits, I just loved that being so iconic. And the video itself, just having one location, it's just focused on the musicians and the instruments, and that is such a good choice with a song that is as skilled as this, with kind of different layers and tones to it. Having the simplicity of the video, I think, really showcases the guitar skills.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And honestly, like, I love classic thrash. And I know this band say that they're heavily influenced by Kreator, who are one of my favorite bands on the planet. They're an early German thrash band, really similar sound. And, you know, I don't like using the word simple, because there's nothing simple about playing thrash. Like, it's a really hard style of metal to play. But what kind of bugs me is when bands get overly complicated and they throw in all these time signature changes and key changes and things. And, like, it certainly gives you something interesting to listen to, but I like seeing bands live. I like being in a mosh pit and crowd surfing and just going nuts. And you can't do that when you're headbanging away and suddenly the time signature changes and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing now. And, like, this band, to me, just go back to that DNA of just headbanging. Like, that's what we always did. And I love the like the riff was awesome, that kind of ran throughout. It was made more complex every now and again by pieces over the top and underneath it. The drums, like, we had classic, like, bits where the drums drop out and then would come back in with like the stabs. Just so much of it was like classic Slayer or Kreator or Exodus or Testament, like bands that I grew up with. And there's no reason why that kind of music should ever end. Like, it's an amazing style of music, requires a ton of talent, and people like me love it. I'm going to keep going to gigs for the rest of my life until they just bury me in the middle of a field somewhere. Like, I'll just drop down dead in the middle of a mosh pit and they'll just dig over me, and that'll be the end, hopefully in a while. But, like, I never want to stop listening to this kind of music. I never want to stop going to this kind of band's gigs. And like you say, I don't want to see music videos with spaceships and freaking CGI. I just want to see a bunch of guys with drums and guitars screaming their faces off and playing some great metal. So, yeah, and to me, and I love it as well that, like, you could debate politics with anyone in the world, but I love the fact that this band is basically just calling out political brainwashing and bullshit, because that goes on obviously in Pakistan. It goes on all over the world. It certainly goes on here in the United States. And I love it that bands can basically say fuck you to that. So, and I love it that this song is basically just one big middle finger. So, yeah, I really could not love this song anymore, and I'm so grateful to Tabahi for reaching out to us on email and letting us know that this song's coming out. Their second album actually comes out in June, so if you like this, go check out their album in June, and I'm certainly going to buy it. This is what I need blasting out of my car to annoy everybody. Everybody in our town needs to hear this. Too loud. So loud that my ears bleed. Well, there you go. Hey, thanks so much, Tabahi, for checking us out. We're going to post your links and your press release about this single in the description. So if people want to know more, it's right down there. And if you want to know more about us, well, just come back, because we do this, man, we do it a lot at the moment. So we will see you next time, friends, on the next Nerd Safari.
Peace out, nerds.